Oh, and good morning once again, YouTube. It's none other than the One Knotlocks here, and today we're doing another dreadlock video. So make sure you guys stay subscribed and stay tuned because this is your source for the best in daily dreadlock content. Stay tuned. So, today's video comes from the likelihood of Rasta'S and Porterville, Western Cape in South Africa, with today's headline reading, "Cops Cut Off Rastafarians' Dreadlocks." And this story catches my awareness because the elites and the higher, like police and armies and government really should have no say in what sort of hairstyle we choose to wear as citizens of the earth. So when it comes to law enforcement unwillingly cutting off your dreadlocks, there should be some punishment for this, because that is a big breach in human rights. Here's what happened. The High Court in Pretoria has now heard how the police cut off a Rasta's dreads during a drug raid. The Minister of the Police has been ordered to pay 360,000 Rand in damages, or 90,000 Rand each, which is roughly $30,000 or $8,000 each, to four men who were beaten and humiliated by the police during a drug raid on a house in Porterville in Western Cape back in 2012, which is a section of South Africa. So, which is talking about Cape Town, as we can see down here. Here's more into the story. Friends Jonathan Daniels and Jonathan Constable and brothers Evert and Adam Farrow turned to the High Court saying they were still in shock and terrified of the police after their ordeal. Well, of course they would. Who wouldn't be terrified after, say, cops hold you down by your head and saw your dreadlocks off with a pair of broken scissors? Check this out. They told police how they broke down the door of the house shared by Daniels and Farrows in the early hours of the morning, and they were looking for drugs. Of course, they were woken up, overturned their beds by police, kicked and punched, and pulled by their hair. The police swore at the four, among others, calling their mothers rude names. He says that the cops stormed their home wearing black uniforms, helmets, and balaclavas. They had no visible identifications and stuck guns into the four's faces. They demanded to know where the drugs were, but no drugs were found on the premises. So what happened was, Adam says he cried like a baby as a policeman pulled his head up by grabbing him by his hair. He had been a Rasta for 25 years and had never cut his hair. He also had to watch his friend's hair being cut by the police. So the cops were demanding them to lay on the floor and were asking them where the drugs were, such as mandrax and tick. But the only thing they could find was a bag of herbs used for medication. So the police used a pair of scissors found in the apartment and started cutting Daniel's hair. But after the scissors broke, he was held down by three more cops as they proceeded to cut his hair in a saw-like fashion with the two broken blades. He said, "It was very painful while they were cutting my hair. I cried like a baby and my scalp was burning." After the scissors broke, two policemen each took one of the blades and used that to saw off his hair. Now, as these four guys were Rastafari, their customs is to not cut their hair. So for police to come in and just wrongly accuse you of having drugs, and then because they can't find any, they cut off your religious sacrament, that's unfair, and it's unruly to think that how police officers can kind of play their name above the law like this. When they're in positions, they're taking advantage of people. And it's not even just in Cape Town this is happening. This is happening worldwide, and to be honest, no one's really standing up against it. Now, for dreadlocks to be cut off, we know, we've all watched videos, we've all been there. when it comes time to cut off your dreads, it's an emotional process because you've been attached to them for years on end. And think about it this way. If this happened here in Canada with, let's say, people of the Sikh faith, if they ran into their place, cops ran into a Sikh house, accused them of drugs, didn't find any, so they grabbed them by the turban and took it off and cut off their hair underneath with the blade that they store in their turban. What would happen? That would cause an outrage. So how come here in Cape Town, it's unfortunate that this is not a bigger issue? So in my opinion, the best way to kind of get yourself out of these situations is to know your rights, understand the laws that are governed within your area, and know them, because when enforcement stop you, you're in a higher position to kind of defend yourself if you know your rights and laws. What do you guys think? What would you guys have done in this situation, and how do you feel that this outcome turned out? Do you feel that 90,000 rand was enough for these men to be compensated for their distress? Leave a comments down below, because that's where today's discussion is going to be taking place. But that's all for today, so make sure you guys subscribe and stay subscribed, because this is the best source for daily dreadlock content with your none other than the one not locked. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Peace.